I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser. Earlier this year, former professional guardian Traci Hudson pleaded guilty to 19 felony charges involving exploitation and abuse of elderly people under her care. In a follow-through to our 5-year investigation into Traci Hudson's controversial history as a guardian, we're taking a look back at how Hudson's conviction shows systematic failures within Florida's guardianship system. Records show Traci Samuel Hudson's crimes started 7 years before she pleaded guilty in Pinellas County Circuit Court, just months after she became a professional guardian.
She's going to be receiving an 8.5-year Department of Corrections sentence followed by 20 years of probation.
8.5 years is not enough, what she's done to so many families.
I made quite a few complaints to the Office of Public and Professional Guardians about Traci Hudson, only to be called a conspiracy theorist, that none of this was really going on until thankfully, with, of course, Adam Walser from ABC Action News in Tampa, uncovering the crimes that were being committed.
Records show Hudson started stealing in 2016.
Because she totally destroyed my family.
Ryan Moore says Hudson neglected his elderly father Robert's needs, but stole his gun collection, which she pawned and kept the money.
So we do have 7 firearms that are unaccounted for.
I asked her about the guns, and she said all the guns had been stolen except for one, and it was in a police evidence room somewhere.
My father was exploited, isolated, while Traci was the guardian of my father.
In 2017, Lisa Martino reported to state agencies that Hudson abused and financially exploited her father, Roland, and she wrote disparaging remarks about Hudson on social media.
Traci filed a libel slander lawsuit against me in 2018, and this is when she was committing crimes already. And so I ended up losing that case, and I lost my house to Traci.
We were there when Martino was thrown out of her home and most of her belongings were taken to the dump.
I was a whistleblower to the corruption, and then I get punished.
And the I-Team reported extensively on Ganita Dirce.
My grandaunt ran her business for many years until the guardianship process started.
A realtor petitioned the court to put Dirce into guardianship after Dirce sold part of her hotel for a below-market price to her great-nephew, Getty Pecalnes, who lived with her and helped her for 15 years.
He was taking property from Mrs. Dirce for less than fair market value.
Hudson filed an eviction against Getty and used Dirce's money to sue him and tried to void the sale.
Tried to get her hotel back. She didn't sell it to him.
Hudson moved Dirce to assisted living and banned Getty from seeing her.
She doesn't want him to visit. I'm respecting the privacy of her.
During court proceedings, probate judge Pam Campbell praised Traci, who went by the last name Samuel at the time.
I know Ms. Samuel to be a good and professional guardian. She's on a number of the cases that I have.
Ganita Dirce died alone in assisted living 2 years later from COVID. Her estate paid more than $287,000 in guardian and attorney fees. Getty didn't get to see or talk to his great-aunt during her final 2 years.
We wish that the last 2 years away from her family and her home would not be lost to her, that things could have been different for her.
In November 2019, Hudson was arrested after investigators say she took $541,000 from a 93-year-old dementia patient, using a power of attorney agreement to pay herself $1,600 a day from his bank account. Hudson used the money to buy tickets to Tampa Bay Bucks games, purchased clothes and jewelry, and closed on a 4,800-square-foot home. She was president of the Pinellas County Guardianship Association at the time.
That case that she was charged with is a power of attorney case, so totally different from our guardianship cases.
Judge Campbell ordered the Pinellas County Clerk's Office to investigate Hudson's 45 guardianship cases.
If there are any red flags that are brought to our attention, then we will address that at that point in time.
3 years later, a 77-page report filled with red flags not only exposed problems with Hudson's cases, but also with the guardianship system.
What it produced was just evidence of flagrant fraud.
There's very little direct oversight of what the guardian does.
The report shows Hudson was paid $406,000 from her ward's assets. 7 times she billed for working between 25 and 39 hours in a single day.
So there was not just a single instance, but many instances of billing over 18 hours in a day.
The report says Hudson paid realtors who served with her on the Guardianship Association board commissions of up to 16% and sold homes without appraisals at below market prices. According to this report, this home, which belonged to one of Hudson's wards, sold 3 times in a single day. The first time for $30,450, the second time for $37,000, and the third time for $57,984. A 90% increase.
There was jewelry missing, savings bonds worth $20-some thousand missing.
And after her arrest, there was evidence Hudson failed to care for her wards and their property. The guardian appointed to replace Hudson found that Ganita Deersay had not been to a doctor nor dentist while under Hudson's care. At Deersay's home, a new guardian wrote, "Nothing has been done, not even food out of the refrigerator, speechless." Hudson failed to fix a broken window at Deersay's home, resulting in a $250 a day fine from the city of St. Pete Beach. And now it's gotten up to that amount. You see that amount?
Yes, $45,750.
Hudson got permission from Judge Campbell to transfer $100,000 from Deersay's investment account to pay for repairs, but they were never done. Hudson will be 83 years old when she completes her prison time and probation, the same age as most of her victims.
That is not a perfect system, if you will. There's very little oversight.
Her lawyer says his client wasn't the only one to blame.
None of these choices get made until the attorney for the estate or the guardianship reviews the request, whatever it might be, and not until an actual judge signs off on those things.
She blames the system, but she's part of the system, and she knew what she was, she had to know what she was doing was wrong.
We contacted Hudson at the Lowell Prison Annex, where she is currently serving her sentence, and requested an interview. We have not heard back from her. I'm My Team investigator Adam Walser with photojournalist Randy Wright, taking action for you.